Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Morning Coffee Talks. Hey, yesterday I had a very interesting conversation with a young lady. A lot of you guys know my work is in sales, and basically I'm out working in the public. And so, as you're working in the public, you meet people, and they start to kind of tell you their background, their life story. But some people they get a little personal too, which is fine. I don't really ask for it, but they just like to share. It's just what we do as humans, I guess. But she was happy because she had just purchased a new car, and she was showing me pictures of it. I forgot what kind of car it was, but it was really nice. Just new car, had a lot of bells and whistles in it. The color was pretty cool. But she's been in this long term relationship with this guy. I want to say they've been dating for like 8 to 10 years, but they never got married or whatever. And so she had been wanting this car, so she went out and got it. And she was saying how the guy she was dating, he was really upset about it, and that basically she didn't involve him in the process of purchasing the car. And so after that, he's really mad at her. He's not talking to her. They lived together. He came home in like 2 days. He's like really upset about it. And she was like, basically, he can't really be upset that she did that when they're not married. Yes, they're in a committed, well, they're in a long term relationship, but they're not married. So it's like it's not his money. You know what I mean? And the truth of the matter, like, I get it. I could understand dating somebody for that long. It's like y'all playing house, but y'all not really married. And so y'all do start to intertwine y'all lives a lot. However, at the end of the day, I mean, she's absolutely right. She can still, listen, just because y'all playing boyfriend and girlfriend or y'all in the house doesn't make her money your money. You know what I'm saying? When y'all get married, that's when everything is officially combined, right? That's when, your money, her money is y'all's money now, so to say. And so I just found it very interesting that that was his reaction. You know what I mean? And let's I brought this story up because I think a lot of guys who are in these type of relationships is that they want those privilege, they want the marriage privileges without the title, man, without really going the extra mile. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like if she's not technically your wife, stop expecting wife privileges. And also, if you're not leading with clarity and commitment, don't be surprised when she moves solo, man, when she moves independent. And you can't be mad at a woman. Yes, y'all in a relationship, but you can't be mad at her for not consulting you on a big purchase like that, right? When y'all aren't officially in that true commitment. You know what I mean? And for me, my thought process on it has always been, again, you can't lead while you haven't committed, man. You know what I mean? In that aspect, as far as those real life purchases. Because a car is. That car know, listen, it ain't like it used to be where, these cars now are double, triple in price when they're not even really worth it. And so that payment's going to be double and triple in price. And I mean, listen, if she can afford it or not, I get it. I get the sentiment from man's perspective, like, hey, it's not the point of that she purchased the car, right? It's the point that she didn't involve you in the process to see if she can get the best deal. And we know how a lot of times women go to these car lots and they're not thinking rationally, right? They're thinking emotionally. Their car is having problems. They want to get out of it. They see something, they feel good about it. A lot of times they're not really worried about the numbers, right? And I get why he's upset about it, because it's like he probably felt that they potentially got over on her, right? But you should have been on top of your job. So listen, being in a long-term relationship, you know what I'm saying? Again, you can't be mad because you haven't committed. There's no ring, so there's no financial plan together, there's no marriage, right? That car she bought, that's her decision because again, it's her money. At the end of the day, it's her money. If I feel like for men, if you want to be included in those major decisions, then you have to step into the leadership role, not just emotionally, but legally and spiritually through that commitment of marriage, man. Like it just is what it is. It's not your money. And it just was so interesting, man, that his reaction was to get mad and stop talking to her, right? Silence isn't strength, it's avoidance, man. That's not leadership, that's pouting, right? Real leaders express clarity and commitment. You know, going silent when something doesn't go your way again isn't strength. That's really what I call emotional immaturity, right? And for women, again, we spoke about it. I feel like I gotta make this video that's before I can continue. I gotta make this video from what me and my wife had about it was based on a couple videos I made ago about how men are or not approaching women, right? And how we got to that point. And it was it wasn't like a super long conversation, but it was a pretty thoughtful conversation. And so that goes to this last point about women wanting leadership, not control. Here's the thing: she didn't say that she wouldn't have included him. She, she said she didn't have to, right? And that's the point. And she's absolutely right. Again, she's not obligated to bring him into financial decisions when the relationship isn't structured for that. Again, leadership isn't about, I've said this multiple times, man. Leadership isn't about forcing basically a seat at the table. It's about building that table together, right? And so this is why, man, we gotta get back to doing things the right way. We gotta get back to leading from the start, man. If you're dating long term and you want to be a part of, this young lady, this woman's life in a real way, then you got to stop dragging your feet, right? 18 years without putting a ring on it, like, why even be in that commitment? Why be with one woman then? That's my thing. Why be with one woman? Like, if your intention is not to marry her, then just have multiple women. That's how I look at it. Don't have one woman in. I don't know. If I feel like 3 at the max, 3 to 5 years is that window. I feel like that's truly enough time to really get to know a woman, to really get to know her background, her financial situations, right? Her personality, if she has kids, to build a somewhat relationship, to plan a life as far as to see what she is in life, what's her goals, right? Give her time to really learn y'all as well together. And so, you have to be intentional, man. You have to be clear and you have to make a vision for the relationship known, because that's part of the providing and protecting. Because with women, it don't matter how long you've been dating them. It don't matter how long you've been married, how long you've been in a relationship. They always gonna circle back around and ask you, what's the vision? Because somehow it's like they have short-term thinking sometimes as far as what a relationship going. It's like they always need a constant reminder. Even though you can have this plan thought out really good, that's just part of it. I can't explain it. Maybe I need to think about it why that is, but it just always is. right? But it's just an emotional part of them. And that's what I'm starting to learn. But if you don't have that, again, don't act surprised when they move like an independent woman, because that's what you have treated her as when you have not um took the next step with her. 18 years is a long time. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, man. Like, and also that should be enough time for you to save for a ring. If create a budget for it, maybe create a budget for a house, the down payment and stuff for y'all to get. That's enough to budget for, to get your house in order. That way, when y'all do the I do's and y'all go through the ceremony of marriage and all that, you have your ducks in order, man. You know what I mean? I think about a year, really a year to 2 years, you should already kind of know if you're gonna marry this woman, right? And it may take a little longer for y'all to for you to go ahead and start putting things in order, which is fine. But I say max, man, being in a relationship with somebody is like 5 years, and then you need to be trying to marry. I say that's max. But anything over that, it started to get a little ridiculous, right? So, in closing, man, I'll say, man, we have to stop asking for influence without the investment. You want partnership, then lead like a man with purpose, not like a boy with preferences. So, silence and passive aggression doesn't build families, right? Vision, commitment, and I would say even communication is what does that. So, hey, y'all drop a comment below. Tell me what y'all think about that. You agree or disagree? Should she have involved him in the process? Again, they're not married, but they are in a long-term relationship, about 8 to 10 years. She said somewhere around that. His response, was he right? To be upset that she didn't involve him in the process. You know. So subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. Also hit that like button if you got any value from this video, and hit the notification bell, because again, we're going to continuously drop videos like this all the time. And until next time, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.